Welcome to What's Your Edge, a series of VisionEdge Marketing podcasts dedicated to helping you use data analytics, process, and measurement to create a competitive edge for you and a superior experience for your customers. I'm your host, Laura Patterson, President of VisionEdge Marketing. True differentiation takes boldly reimagining how products are created and delivered. For many organizations, the secret to market growth isn't found in the boardroom alone. It's forged in partnership with our most demanding customers. In this episode of What's Your Edge, we are joined by Armen Alajian, CEO of ARTO, a family-owned innovator in the tile, stone, and brick industry. Armen is going to share with us how they turned customer challenges into a catalyst for innovation and sustainable growth. Embracing customer-led product development propelled them ahead of overseas competition and establish a blueprint for unlocking new levels of market success. Welcome, Armen.
Hello, Laura. How are you?
Great, and so happy to have you as our guest. So I know from personal experience that sustaining a family legacy in a highly competitive, mature industry requires more than tradition. It demands strategic leadership and the courage to adapt expertise to evolving customer needs. Legacy can be either a constraint or a springboard. And we have found that the companies that thrive are those that use their history as a foundation for reinvention, not as an excuse for inertia. I believe the future belongs to organizations willing to leverage their deep expertise while reimagining what's possible for their customers. It's less about discarding the past and more about building on it to create new value and differentiation. ARTO's journey is a prime example of how honoring legacy means using that legacy to fuel innovation and growth. And from a governance perspective, this balance between continuity and change is often a central board conversation. So as we kick off this conversation, Armen, let's talk about how you and your brother have balanced honoring your father's legacy with the need to innovate and adapt ARTO for today's market.
Well, my father, Arto, was a maker and a merchant, and he crafted products on where the market is today and where it was going. And a lot of that was based on a lack of resources, so he had to be a very good listener. And my brother and I have taken that concept and made it part of our DNA of listening and reacting as quickly as we can in the appropriate way. The lack of resources that he had, we still have those same constraints. So we honor him by keeping the innovation alive in our business as part of who we are, publish or perish.
Wonderful. And I know that means staying relevant to your customers. And so in our work, we have found that engaging customers early, especially those with demanding requirements, can dramatically increase the odds of developing products that succeed in the market. We have often used customer scenarios when we do work to reveal gaps and opportunities that internal teams may overlook. And they provide a valuable real-world perspective that moves product development from guesswork to grounded innovation. When companies are willing to take on challenging projects, they transform these customers into partners for co-creation. This accelerates learning, validation, confidence in the future investments. So at ARTO, this willingness to tackle the hard jobs has done more than bring in premium business. It has created a pipeline for new validated products that could be brought to market faster and with greater certainty. From a leadership standpoint, this approach replaces random acts of innovation with deliberate experimentation anchored in customer reality. Can you share a story where working with a particularly challenging project for a customer led to a breakthrough product or a new market opportunity for ARTO?
To be clear, it's not the people, although people can be challenging. The project or the request by, in this case, an architectural firm working for USC or a library in Oklahoma with certain colorways. And so within the USC project, Petita Hall, they wanted a certain red. So the manufacturing process was the innovation, but the ability to make glazes quickly and iterate was what we developed for our customer and the future customer. So we took a problem, move quickly for a demanding customer, and made it a part of our culture is move quickly for a demanding customer. And not demanding in a negative, they just want a certain look for a certain way of doing the job.
Yeah, I mean, we're not really talking about how to manage difficult customers. We're really talking about customers who have unique challenges and needs that might be difficult to solve, and solving them in a way that helps you create innovation. And it's illuminating that sometimes these scenarios is what creates the best version of what's missing in the market. And that by listening to these kinds of customers and understanding their market requirements and leveraging their real world scenarios, you can turn, custom work like what you did with the red into a proving ground for future bestsellers. So it seems true that most customer-centric customers and companies are the ones willing to invest in understanding what their customers want to buy, where they spend their time, how they make decisions, and what truly matters to them. Armen, I know you share our philosophy about the importance of personal outreach, whether through events, video, or direct mail. And personal outreach, it helps build trust, it opens dialogue, it uncovers unmet needs that fuel innovation. From a strategic perspective, this kind of engagement can turn customer interaction into intelligence systems rather than a transactional function. So what impact has your personal outreach efforts had on customer loyalty and product innovation, and how have you structured these communications to maximize insight and trust?
That's a lot. The outreach, is real. I'm transparent with our customers, sharing with them the good, the bad, and the ugly. I worry sometimes that it's the brand of the CEO versus the logo, and that is a ongoing struggle in my mind as I journal. Right now, the thesis in the market, I guess, listening to the customer right now, people are buying from people, and who's behind the logo. So the outreach to the customer from a personal standpoint has given us the ability to go deeper with our customers, with our dealers, repeat customers. So we have them, and what does that turn into? And that has been that we've learned from them, and and they've learned from us. And when we've had a hard time, they go with the brand and the company into the process of getting better. So we turn a transaction into people. So we can have a mistake and they still like us. It's a relationship. Yes. It's not a one and done.
You're so right, Armen. People buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. And that old adage hasn't changed in a very long time. So when companies kind of move beyond basic customer service and proactively engage with customers, not only do they build a relationship, but they uncover insights that competitors might miss. It is really about being present in the moments that matter, asking the right questions, and to your point, listening deeply. ARTO's decision to launch these weekly personal videos and emails, I know it wasn't just about a marketing tactic. It was a strategic move to build these authentic connections and replace transactional interactions with partnerships. How did you ensure these efforts stayed focused and didn't become another set of random acts of engagement?
Being painfully transparent. I said earlier about good, the bad, and the ugly, and not sharing really the good, the bad, and the ugly with the listener. The vendors got it, the customers got it, and then when I share to the bigger public, which is the design community, which is not my direct customer, or homeowners, it even connects with them more, because in a sea of the same, we differentiated our product by saying, oh, these guys are trying to be good. Even though we're still in the process of being better, we're aiming at being better. So the feedback is market intelligence from our customers on, oh, we like where you're going, and so we'll share with you back honestly what you're doing good and what you're doing bad. So yeah, back and forth feedback.
That's, yes, having those conversations, that allows you really to get insights rather than just simply reacting to trends. And by listening closely to your customers, you're systematically gathering market and competitive intelligence from the field. That's smart. Scenario planning, is often based on real customer data, and it allows companies to anticipate shifts, leapfrog those competitors, particularly in industries like yours where overseas suppliers compete aggressively on price. Boards often ask, how do we know what's coming next? That's a common question. And this is one of the most reliable answers. We know because we talk to our customers. So how do you and your team identify and act on market trends before your competition?
Woo! We listen to it sounds like a broken record. We listen to our customers and we listen to their problems or requests, and it turns into a perpetual machine of learning and motion where there's a product designed for Laura, and we love it. We'll put it in the market right away because Laura was the guinea pig on her. She wanted a certain product. We made it for her. It worked well. We loved it. We're going to put it out there. Or there's 5 to 10 Lauras over a period of 6 months. And we go, there's a trend here. It's not really romantic. It's not exciting, but it's something missing that's being asked for. So we'll fill that void with listening to you, whether explosively with one cool project or it's a boring it's a boring change order, but it's been happening several times. So we gotta, what's going on? We have to do something with it. So the more you're known for fixing, the more it makes they come to you for being ahead of the curve.
Yeah. And I think it's great that you can take sort of custom solutions and transform them into standard products. And back to the competitive intelligence, tracking that is really, critical to being able to successfully overcome and outmaneuver competitors. Competitive intelligence tracks what others are doing so you can understand where the market is headed and position your organization to lead, not follow. And by regularly engaging with customers like you and your team do, and mapping out the market scenarios, companies like ARTO can spot opportunities and threats really early, and you can turn that information into a competitive advantage. I'm kind of curious, Armen, what tools or processes have proven most effective in gaining insight into competitors?
Simply just follow them. I don't like being watching. I don't like looking over my shoulder. But sometimes your competitors have great ideas because they're listening to their customer segment, and you need to you can do 3 things. Don't do anything. You can do what they're doing or improve what they're doing, but they ignore what's going on. It's like another set of ears in the market. So you have to listen to them as well. And you can do 3 things with it. You can react to it, you can not react to it, or you can improve the mousetrap. And one of the things that I've noticed for me in our industry is sometimes the pioneer is not the leader. They're not the same word.
Oh, that's true in many industries. Oftentimes the pioneer doesn't end up being the leader. Everyone uses a very, very old example of that, but that would be, Beta and VHS, right? Beta was the leader, but it all came down to VHS. So yes, and there's many other examples. That just happens to be a particularly very common one. So from our perspective, the most successful innovators are rooted in a deep understanding of customer market requirements, not just internal brainstorming, which is really what we've been talking about. And research shows that companies that effectively leverage customer feedback, they're 30 to 50% more likely to develop successful products. And by measuring engagement, time to market, adoption rates, you can ensure that an innovation delivers business value, not just random activity. When companies involve customers in the product development process, they accelerate validation, and they build products that are more likely to succeed in the real world. We've been talking a little bit before about measures. So what metrics or signals do you rely on to validate new products from customers before you scale?
The biggest metric is it in the field? Is it in the field? Is it being used? And depending on the situation, the rigors can be a long period we spoke earlier about several projects in the same direction. Or if we think that Laura came up with a great innovation by the request, we'll fast track it and use ASTM and ANSI to validate the system that we built and then get it to market faster. So sometimes it's like, wow, new mousetrap. Let's get the testing done at the laboratories, and it passes, get it in the market ASAP. And sometimes it's just trying it out little by little over a period of time. So those are 2 measurements we use, depending on the actual outcome for the customer. I mean, the customer's feedback again, like a brand new way to catch a mouse. Let's get that tested. It's a new way to make it. Let's see if it really works. And then wow, it really does work, then we'll use that experience in the field as validation. So fast track, ASTM and ANSI, long track, field testing with our customers.
I'm really glad you brought up testing, because companies that continuously test, learn, and iterate, they see significant sales boosts. We've seen examples of including a 50% net sales increase per employee from continuous training, a 28% revenue jump from standardized sales processes, and 7 to 20% productivity or revenue gains just from this test, learn, and iterate. Innovation metrics also, they need to go beyond the numbers of ideas generated. A lot of people just track the ideas, but by tracking customer engagement, like pilot success rates, market adoption rates, you can ensure that your innovation pipeline delivers tangible results. The best organizations, they make learning loops part of their DNA: test, measure, refine, repeat, which is kind of what you do. So how do you measure the ROI of customer co-creation at ARTO, and how do those insights inform future investment decisions?
The ROI Armen does is that of top line sales and market share. Those can be vanity metrics. So after that, I have to use the CFO saying we're actually making money. So the reality is it's not just 2, it's 3. It's Armen's vanity metric of top line sales, where we own the market in the segment. And the most important one is the margins. Are you actually making money with the product? So what I've the last couple of years have realized is I have 2 metrics. Does the new product help ARTO pay the bills on Friday, payroll? And does the new product build a brand that part of the brand that'll live 100 years because we're innovating, or whatever we're doing differently that makes us a 100-year brand, but also pay payroll on Friday, period. We're doing both at the same time.
I love these 2 tests. Does it help us make payroll? And does it help, the company become a 100-year brand? Those are great. And I'm sure the folks listening are taking note of those 2 tests. Market leaders, they implement processes that drive these outcomes, such as customer engagement and what we've already talked about, product validation, and also innovation velocity. You were talking about that earlier, fast tracking something. So companies that continually learn from their customers and adapt their approach are those that sustain growth, even in crowded markets. And I know you can appreciate that because you're in a crowded market. So differentiation is possible when organizations relentlessly focus on customer collaboration and learning from every engagement. In my personal experience, the most resilient organizations treat every customer interaction as a learning opportunity, and they don't shy away from tough feedback. And I know you don't either, because you've mentioned that on several occasions. In fact, you seek it out, and we encourage customers to seek out feedback, even the hard feedback. So from a board and a leadership perspective, this requires discipline, patience, and a willingness to invest ahead of certainty. So as we begin to wrap up, I'd love to get your thoughts on advice that you would give to other business leaders facing intense competition, especially those tempted to compete on price alone. So what are some thoughts about that?
It's listening in my head to the last whatever minutes. It's about listening to the customer. Get on the ground. The leaders get on the ground. And if you're already doing it, it's not about doing more of it possibly. It's probably doing it better or different. So you need to hear the market from the ground. If you're working through a distributor, go into the field with the distributor's people. Get on the ground and listen to the people using your product. It's like you said, uncomfortable sometimes to hear that you put the screw in the wrong place, even though it makes sense for whatever. And after that, it's building the business into a cash machine, which is pay on Friday, all your team, and building a company lasts a very long time because you've built this, whatever your personal business's perpetual machine is of learning or of innovation or whatever you do well as a company, make that part of your brand. And if all that fails, protect the margin at all costs. Protect your margins. You can have a small business and have a great cash flowing business. You can have a big business and make $1.
That's great advice. Thank you. And thank you, Armen, for sharing ARTO's journey, which shows the future belongs to those who listen deeply, act boldly and measure relentlessly, especially those two tests. And being able to turn adversity into innovation and to engage customers as collaborators, that's the foundation for sustainable growth and market leadership. And for leaders and board members listening to this episode, it's a great reminder that the strongest differentiation is built not through random acts of innovation, but through a disciplined, customer-led growth strategy. If you're ready to move from reactive innovation to a deliberate, customer-driven growth strategy, we invite you to explore how we help leadership teams turn customer insights into measurable market advantage. Thank you, Armen, for being with us today. And for everyone listening, thank you for being a part of our community. We hope you found this episode of What's Your Edge helpful. Since 1999, VisionEdge Marketing has been helping our customers eliminate random acts, apply data, analytics, process, and measurement to accelerate growth, create customer value, and improve performance. We always welcome hearing from you.